Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I'm your host, Laura Lalaki, your singing international real estate agent. And today we've got two viral stories that are really stirring up some controversies about money, love, responsibility, and expectations. First up, a woman receives a surprise of $52,000 in back child support after her child's father was hit with a life insurance payout from his late mother, and the state stepped in and garnished it. Now, was that justice, or is that the system doing too much? And then we're actually going to dive into a dating profile that went viral because this woman listed every single bill she expects a man to cover if he is interested in her. So we're talking about rent, utilities, allowances, nails, groceries, you name it. Now, both of these situations are extreme to some, reasonable to others, but one thing is clear. Money and relationships have never been more intertwined. So let us talk about it today. But first, I have a wonderful royal court. We have Joe Corley, licensed therapist, mental wellness coach, and educator. We have Dr. Sabrina Williams, author, investor, and educator specializing in proper transfer of wealth. I love that. Proper transfer of wealth. And Marlo Layson, TV and film producer. We are kicking off this week with some heavy stuff because both of these took me out. But we're going to start off talking about the child support situation. So, Marlo, have you had a chance to dig into that a little bit? What was your first thoughts about when you heard that this lady woke up to the $52,000?
I wasn't surprised because that's what happens when you strike it rich. The state, before they disperse those funds, they are going to look into it and see if there's anything that's owed to them or through them. So it didn't surprise me at all.
I have to say it didn't surprise me at all either. I actually have a good friend who was only getting $35 a week for her child. The guy wouldn't even pay that. So when he finally got married again and they filed taxes, they took their taxes. And I'm sorry, you need to take care of your children. That's just how I feel about it. Joe, what was your initial thoughts when you heard about it?
Same as y'all, so I wasn't surprised. Responsibility is responsibility. So, and on his face, I looked at it like, okay, well, she got probably what she's due.
And probably then some. And honestly, it was so far back, y'all, that she had been doing this a long time on her own. It's not cheap raising babies. It's just not. Dr. Sabrina, what are your thoughts about it when you first heard about it?
Well, I was surprised. And the reason why I was surprised was because the source of the funding. So, beneficiary proceeds are typically, especially this life insurance policy, are typically excluded from this type of thing. So these are considered non-probate assets, which means they don't have to go through the probate process when the person dies. They are paid directly to the beneficiary. So the question that I have, and the bigger question that all of us should probably be thinking about is, although this may seem like it's a matter of a, child support issue, the bigger issue is the failure on the mother's part to do proper estate planning. And I do understand that person had a responsibility. I'm not saying that the son or the children's father should shirk his responsibilities, but I think we can peel this onion back and go a lot deeper here. So I really was surprised.
You just educated me on something that I didn't know about. I didn't know that some of the money couldn't be touched. I have heard that if you won the lottery or the taxes, that you can get hit with back pay for child support. But the life insurance, I did not know that was excluded as well. Let's check in with some of our viewership family. Happy Monday, family. BPM says, pay now or pay later? Charlie says most laws favor women and the LGBTQIA. So this is no surprise. I don't know how you managed to throw that up in there. That ain't the topic today. C. White, happy Monday, all. Happy Monday, my love. L. Williams says that was justice. He should have been paying his child support. And C. White says she probably should have done a trust, maybe. Dr. Sabrina, you're shaking your head. Is that something that you think would have helped in this case for sure?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because the only way the courts were able to touch it is because the proceeds were given directly to him, paid directly to him in his name as the beneficiary. Had they not been paid directly to him and been paid to an estate trust, then no, they would not have been able to garnish the money.
Very interesting. Marlo, do you think this is a wake-up call for people who ignore child support orders?
No. This is not a wake-up call. They're going to keep on doing the things that they do. I have so many friends who had issues with child support where the dad wouldn't work a job on paper, right, so that he could get paid under the table. He could make money, cash money, doing jobs. And so I don't think that this is a wake-up call. I think people are going to still roll the dice, not pay child support, be irresponsible, because that's the nature of people. People got choice, and people rarely learn from another person's example because we're so good at convincing ourselves that we are different.
True. Now, Joe, there are some people who think that this is biased. So do you think that child support enforcement is biased overall?
I feel like I don't know enough about too many different circumstances to answer that question. In general, I do hear from a lot of males that child support, the system is biased, but I haven't experienced myself. I feel like this situation right here, bias doesn't really enter it, because from what I've read and understood, sometimes the state stepping in is the only way some of these women see any justice. Um, Now, do I hear about other circumstances where the court is unfairly skewed towards women and women take advantage of that? Absolutely. So I don't know if it's any more biased than any other type of justice system. I mean, I don't think any of it works. So
You just think the whole system is broke, huh?
throw it all away.
Throw it all away. Well, it looks like everything outside of that too needs to be all thrown away. Our government is totally throwawayable right now. So everything seems to be broken. And I don't know what it's going to take for us to get it on track, because I honestly think that the whole foundation was broke in the first place. But Dr. Sabrina, how does this situation change our conversation about inheritance and responsibility? Because you know about transferring that wealth. So, how does this make our conversations different now?
I think it should start them. And that's part of the problem. We have not, as a community, done a very good job of even having the conversations. And so situations like this, of course, as Marlo said, you're always going to have those that are just, they ain't gonna do right. I'm sorry, incorrect English here, but they just ain't gonna do right, no matter what you say or what you do. But for those of us that can and are willing to learn from others' examples, others' failure, I think this is a good starting point for a conversation around how do we properly protect our wealth. Because, I am of the mindset that we can do a whole lot of things to build the wealth, and we can have that conversation all day long. But if we are not properly protecting it and properly transferring it to future generations, then it was all for naught.
Very interesting. I think that, like we say, that's the last conversation we typically have when it comes to money. We've always been told, what goes on this house stays on this house. A lot of times we keep it there and we don't even really talk about a whole lot of things. But I do want to check out one of the videos that we have on this, because this is a pretty deep conversation and we're getting mixed reactions. And I'm actually kind of surprised about the mixed reactions. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a mother. I don't, me personally, I would think, why wouldn't you want to take care of your children? I'd hate to have to go that route, but let's check out this video.
No, because how you fuck up this bad? My cousin just called me talking about we outside. She saw a random 50,000 deposit and called to verify what the money was for. Apparently her baby daddy's mom passed away and he was the beneficiary on the life insurance. The state took the money for back child support. Look at the screenshots. She has like this in Georgia and you can see he's supposed to be paying $781 a month. Look how much he is behind. $52,000. And she want look at that. A deposit for 50. Man. Now I'm reading through the comments and the men like, yo, I would crash the fuck out. And honestly, I feel like that's justified. But at the same time, for you to be $52,000 behind in child support and your monthly payment is $781, don't worry, I already did the math. That means you hadn't paid child support in almost 6 fucking years. What did you think was going to happen? Fellas, please just take care of your kids, pay the child support, do whatever it is that you got to do so you don't end up in a fucking situation like this. Oh my God.
Woo! It's a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
You know that's what we do around here. We help you to level up on your financial household. Please make sure you don't miss out on that by going to our website, flynubianmoney.com. Now, Marlo, I'm going to ask you a little bit of a twist question. Do you think that this would make a difference if it was the mother instead of the father that this happened to? Because there are some fathers who raise their children. And a lot of people are reacting to this, but some are saying it's biased. But do you think it makes a difference if it's the mother or the father?
To me, it doesn't. But I think that in this gender bias, situation that we have on social media, and that's where we all learned about this story through rampant oversharing. It wouldn't be different in my eyes, but I know some people, men would troll and celebrate and be like, oh yeah, get the, like that kind of stuff. But does it make a difference which parent is not taking care of the responsibility of the children? Nope, it doesn't at all. It wouldn't matter if it was a woman. It doesn't matter if it's the dad. It doesn't matter to me at all.
I feel like you should just take care of your children, period. I don't care if you're the mother or the father, and period. And that's just the way that it is. Our children are the one that suffer. I think a lot of emotions get in the way and people accuse each other a lot of things that they're not doing. And then there also can be abusive situations when it comes to that. But 6 years, y'all, that was 6 years worth of back pay. So that's quite a bit. That's being more than irresponsible. That's just being defiant, if you ask me. So Double A says it was a win-win. And she said she's glad that she got her back pay and he's able to get his passport and get rid of that debt. Oh, she said something I didn't know. Oh, I must not have missed that part. Maybe he couldn't get his passport because they are doing that. When you're not paying your child support or anything that is due that they see, they will seize your passport. You will not be able to travel the world. Deborah says beneficiary money used to be untouchable, but that's what Dr. Sabrina said. So what do you think happened with this, Dr. Sabrina? What do you think happened in this situation that got put over? I don't know what state this was.
So I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. Beneficiary money, it depends on who is in debt. So the mother debts were canceled when she died. They were, I mean, her debts could not be paid out of the insurance money. Okay. Now, that's not true as in terms of the estate itself. Of course, when her estate goes through probate, her debts do have to be paid out of everything that's in probate. But because this was an insurance policy, her debts did not have to be paid from the insurance policy. The caveat here is the debt was on the beneficiary, and that is determined by state law. State.
So now
Each
we're breaking it
state's
down.
laws vary. So, whereas someone put in the example about the passport, I'm here in Mississippi. When you don't pay your child support here, they don't take your passport, they take your driver's license. And that does impact a lot of people. We've had this discussion here locally, people that may want to go on and become truck drivers, over the road truck drivers. Well, if their driver's license have been taken away, they don't have a way to earn income now, so they can't address the child support. So it does create kind of a circle there. You see both sides of that.
Catch 22, you're in that gray area,
Yeah.
which also taps into mental. So, Joe, I'm tapping into you mentally. Like when you have this type of debt, and in the situation that Dr. Sabrina is talking about is like, they take away the license. How does this affect the dynamics of a family, and the stress of level of a family when things like that happen?
I mean, it's detrimental, right? I mean, any type of financial stress, yeah, changes things significantly for a lot of different families. I mean, you start having people, move into depression because they can't pay certain bills. I mean, that's a common thing. But this is a different kind of debt. This is not like like you forgot to pay your rent or didn't pay your rent. This is a different kind of debt. This is not even what I would call debt. I'm not even comfortable even talking about it like this, because we oftentimes, a lot of people, a lot of single parents, especially Black women, internalize the bare minimum, as like some type of blessing. Like, oh, this is a debt, or he at least he did something, or he kind of helps with the kids when he can. And we can't frame it like that. This is not an optional situation. It's something he chose not to pay. This is not that. So I'm not even comfortable talking about it like that. A lot of people will look at this like, oh, that's too much. Maybe he didn't have it, but it's not too much. It's just, and it's just money, and it's late. It's years of unmet needs. Based on what I'm reading and understanding about this situation, not knowing all the details about it, this is years of unmet needs being denied. So that mother was likely covering all the expenses for her children and all the school supplies, all the doctor visits, everything. So it's really not about that person's getting punished. It's about correcting an imbalance. So I understand the question, but I just gotta be careful about how I talk about it, because I don't want it. It's not a debt.
Lala, I'd like to piggyback off something Joe said. Without knowing all of the details, I just want to throw a different perspective in there for people to, those people that are saying, poor guy, she did him wrong. She got so much. How do we even know how much the life insurance policy was? So let's say he got a $520,000 life insurance payout. That would only be 10% of the policy. Woe is him? No, not woe is him. And I'm a very big proponent, as the rest of you guys. That was a responsibility that this man had to pay, whether there was any life insurance involved or not. That was a responsibility. But the other side of that is life happens too. I don't know what happened in his life. Has he been locked up for the past 6 years? Has he been at death's door for the last 6 years, hospitalized, sick in his body in some way, sick in his mind in some way, homeless for the last 6 years? I don't know. So I think sometimes we get these headlines, and without really knowing the backstory, it's kind of easy for us to share different perspectives, which is what we do. But we really don't know without knowing, the full story.
Well, in a twist, people were upset at her because she was telling her cousin she was outside. So people were saying that, that's the thing now, we outside, but, people were saying that she was wrong. Listen, I'm with you. We don't know that part of the backstory. We tend to, I call them keyboard cowards a lot of the times. We can sit back and judge other people. But obviously, the situation is this man had not been paying. And finally, she gets the pay that she needs. Now, Double A says she feels the guy in the video is absolutely right. That man wasn't taking care of his responsibility. So how is it anyone's fault but his? Was he even trying to work through it? We don't know. I do know in the case of the friend that I told you about, she wasn't expecting it. And when she did get it, it came at a very good time when it was time for school to have clothes and everything. Every little $35 he sent, when he sent it, she literally was, okay, I got something. I need to go get something for my son. She never put it in some household pool. She, even on top of what she was paying. So, it's a lot of stress when it comes to money, period. And that can affect body, mind, and spirit. Plain and simple about that. But let's check out another video about this, and let's see what else other people got to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. It's a cold game out here, man. It's a cold game out here. This man, his mama died. His mama left this world, man. And she left him some money for child support. I guess he must have been in arrears, because as soon as the insurance money was deposited into his bank account, as soon as he got it, child support snatched it. His baby mama got $52,000 in child support money when this man's mama passed away. Oh my gosh. Your mama left that money for you, man. Imagine your baby mama, somebody who cussed you out on a regular, couldn't stand your mama. Your mama couldn't stand her. Then when your mama passed away, she get the money. It's a cold game out there. Child support ain't got to be that damn cruel.
Okay, first of all, everybody should know that Schuler is also a comedian. So I believe a lot of that was with a grain of salt. We don't know if that's what happened with that lady's situation or not. But with this also comes a little bit of step in from states and government. So Marlo, do you think that the state stepped in was a little bit of an overreach? Do you think that's an overreach for them to do that when someone is not doing what is a court-ordered thing?
It's not if it's the law, right? If that's the way that the law is written, if that's what people have lobbied for, to have that law written in that way. The only thing that I feel is unfair in terms of child support and payment is placing people in jail for unpaid child support. I don't think anybody should be put in prison for unpaid child support. But in this situation, absolutely, because the responsibility of the child ultimately may fall on the state, right? Some women may get benefits. The state may be looking to offset those benefits that they've paid in terms of food stamps or child care or whatever the case may be. So is it overreach? No, it's not overreach, because obviously that's Georgia state law, because this happened in the state of Georgia. But it also isn't overreach because the voters in Georgia have not lobbied for somebody to overturn this law and lobbied for this law to be rewritten. So it isn't.
There's so much to it. Listen, Elle said he could or will get locked up again if he doesn't pay. Deborah says she could be outside because she was probably inside for 5 years. Booker Williams says, you can drive in Mississippi without a license. Don't ask me how I know, and don't ask me how I know. Okay, Booker? Okay, I feel you. I feel you. C. White says, know the law. People who owe back child support. Know the law. Double A says, I hate that this is even public. We shouldn't know about this, honestly. Deborah says, it's the big payback. And C. White said, it's the law. I just looked it up. With that, we are going to take a deep breath because this is a very interesting case. I actually was kind of shocked about it, but it seems to be more common than what I understood it to be. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
I know you're busy, you got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming. Okay, let me stop playing. I'll see you soon.
That's what we do, y'all. We just had a wonderful class about, writing in to get grant money. Y'all, the money is out there, but you got to learn how to do it, how to write it, and what to do. So you need to make sure that you sign up with flynubianmoneyclub.com. Check those out. It is priceless. Now, we actually have another topic to talk about today that we're going to kind of move into, which is very interesting to me. It's a single mother who is 39, and she lays out her full financial life in her dating profile. I thought this was a joke. So for her, she is saying that she wants $3,400 for rent to $1,200 grocery bill, and she expects a man to cover it all. So I'm like, baby, just take me to the coffee house. I need to get to know you first. I don't want to put all that out there first. I mean, to me, am I old fashioned, Marlo? Am I being old fashioned?
I do not understand the ways of the new Jedi, because that is not, I don't understand. So you and we here because I don't know this life. There was a word that this was referred to when I was coming up, and I was asked not to practice that. So I don't know nothing about this.
I'm with you on that one. I'm totally with you on that one. But Joe, now listen, should men be expected to step in and support on this level, especially if kids are involved? Because listen, the one lady says she even got kids, so she expect him to take care of. My thing is, shouldn't the father be taking care of that? Are men expected to step into this?
If they agree to it, if you agree to this type of nonsense, or I'm gonna call it nonsense because it's authenticity, so I shouldn't even call it nonsense. But if this woman is being authentic, if this is what she says is the requirement to be with her, and you click on that and swipe whatever way you're supposed to swipe to acknowledge this woman, then yeah, you are to meet those expectations. So yeah, I applaud this type of authentic. That's what I've been preaching to everybody every single day that I've been on this show. Be authentic. There are some men who will probably swipe on that and be ready to pay all those things, but they will probably have their own set of expectations that come with it. So if those things meet up, then hey, we got a match made in heaven, don't we?
I agree. It takes two to tango, as my mother used to say, right? But Dr. Sabrina, I need to know, do you think that Christina is being honest or manipulative in this situation?
I don't know Christina, so I have to say she's being honest. And again, I'm from the same era as you. I cannot relate on any levels. However, what I noticed that Christina did not do, she said, these are the things that I am looking for. Christina did not list, and these are the things that I'm willing to do in exchange or in return for these things. And so I think to Joe's point, she may find some people that swipe on her profile, but they're going to have their own list of expectations, as they should. They're going to have their own truth, authenticity, honesty. So works both ways.
It just sounds such a stale. There's no love in this to me. I didn't even like the song when I grew up. You got to have a job if you want to be with me. Oh my God, I hated that. I absolutely hated that. Because this to me sounds like some business transaction instead of something that should be a very loving thing. You can have those conversations, but to just demand it up front and expect that. But Joe's right. If someone swiped on that and said, this is what I'm looking for, and both of y'all all on the same page, then that's a different story. But let's actually check out this video and get back into this conversation.
Here are some things I expect a man to pay for while I'm dating him or we're in a relationship. All dates. Like, sir, you're courting me, you're dating me, like, you should be paying for the date. I don't pay for dates, so what are we doing here? Why would you ask me on a date if you're not gonna pay for it? That doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I know you don't want to look at my crusty nails, and my nails are never crusty because I'm a model, so I have to get my nails done for shoots, and I usually upkeep my nails once every 2 weeks. So you got to be able to afford my nails to be done once every 2 weeks. You just have to date me. Honestly, when it comes to hair, I have that wash and go hair, but still, products are expensive. Like my conditioners, my leave-ins, my detanglers, my co-washes, hair is expensive. So I'm going to need you to front the bill on that. You need to help me out. Now, if you guys don't already know, Ubers are a given, a must. I do not pay for my transportation to these dates. You must get my Uber. That is just the standard. I don't like looking like a bush monkey, so waxing is a given. I feel like nobody wants to see that. So, yeah, you got my wax, right? You got my wax. Now, further down the line, I'm not talking about the first few dates, but eventually you're going to have to pay my rent. Girls got bills to pay, and I am too feminine to, pay for myself. So, I do that now, but, if I'm with you, why would I pay for my own bills? Oh, no.
First of all, baby girl, I'm gonna need you to blow your nose. That's driving me absolutely crazy with all that stopped upness. I can't do it. Joe, listen, I do need to talk to you from a man's point of view. Listen, that actually makes me sick to my stomach. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't. I try to be very unbiased sometimes when I'm the host, but to me that just makes me sick. Literally. So if that makes me feel the way that I'm feeling, Joe, because I'm a little Pisces, how do you think men feel hearing about that list? And do you think that they feel used or warned?
I think any man that watched that and was like, "Ooh, I can't wait to get to this one," needs to come see me and check in immediately. We gotta talk, bro. We gotta talk. I need to understand what's going on with you, what's happening right now with you in your lifetime. But you looked at that and said, "This is the woman for me." Please come talk to me. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm not trying to get canceled on today, Lala. Thank you.
I absolutely love it. Now
I
listen,
ain't going.
Black,
I ain't going.
you said not.
I'm sorry, T. I ain't going.
I'm not mad at you, Joe. I'm not mad at you. Black Lexicon said that behavior is great for social media. Shape tried such an arrangement, but fell into integrity balloon payment situation. I'm sorry, Black Lexicon. I'm not really sure what you mean about that. Maybe auto correct grabbed into that. But Black Panther said, I like to see what man will be that stupid to do it. And Jared says, y'all can laugh, But videos like this have been influencing a whole generation. Oh, Dr. Sabrina, do you think that these young ones are being influenced by these social media demands and now it's kind of become the norm?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have two sons, 22 and 25, and they tell me all the time that, they've had women to tell them the same things. And my younger son feels very strongly about people who do such things. I mean, he has very definite opinions by that. But then you have these people. On the one hand, I go back to authenticity. You have a person that tells you what their expectation is coming into a relationship. On the other hand, I go back to our generation, Laura, where a lot of us, those of us that are a little bit more seasoned, found ourselves in relationships, and we only found our voices when we reached 35, 40, when we may have been married for 15, 20 years already. So, I mean, you kind of have to ask yourself, where does the balance lie within that? You know? And I'm laughing because not because it is funny. Joe was hilarious. That was hilarious. But at the same time, I know my 20-year-old self would not have ever thought to say, I want this, I want that, I want the other, I want all those things. But now my 50-year-old self, if I should find myself on the market again, I need this, I need that, I need the other. This is because I know what I bring to the table. I know what I bring to the table. So I'm hoping that those young girls that are putting all of that out there, that they also have something of value to bring to the table. You can't just come and be a taker and not a contributor, not a giver. So
I agree. There is a give and take in everything that you do. It doesn't matter what the give and take is, as long as you both agree to that give and take, right? But Ashley Green kind of agrees with us, Doctor. She says, "What's wrong with these girls? I have 3 daughters and 1 son. My girls bet not ever fix their mouth to say some stupid stuff like that. My son bet not bring no girl like that home, neither." So that we got people who also feel exactly the same way that we do about this. But we also have some stats that I do want to talk about that combine a little bit of everything that we're talking about today, because honestly, these go hand in hand. Like, we understand that somebody wasn't taking care of their financial responsibility. Okay. But then you got women who are saying their financial responsibility is on those who want to spend time with them or marry them. I'm kind of with you, Marlo. There's certain things that there's a low point that says, there's a line that's crossed, which my mama told me we wasn't going to do either, right? But we're going to back up a little bit. We got a little bit of a technical glitch, and I do want to move on about talking about this. So, Marlo, what's the difference between dating with standards and dating with expectations?
I think that they're kind of the same, right? Like you set a standard for the type of person that you want to date, the amount of time that you require, your expectation for how you'll be treated and how that person shows up for you. So I think that they kind of go hand in hand. What I think where this is everybody wants to be, if I could borrow from the late great Kevin Samuels, everybody wants to be high value in this day and age, right? I don't know what the low value, most people probably mid value, right? Most people find somewhere in the mid range, but everybody wants to proclaim that they are high value, or they are high maintenance, or there's a cost associated with their company. And I mean, look, if that's how you rocking, that's fine. Is nothing wrong with that. If everything that you interpersonal relationships are evaluated based on some type of monetary whatever, that's cool. But I think a lot of this is just people not wanting to show up as a pick me And the more I realize all of this, I'm like, maybe I am a little pick me. Maybe I did desire to be chosen and did the things to be chosen, right? Because I cannot relate to some of this stuff that I'm hearing, but also I think that people are informed by their experiences, right? And so maybe you had an experience where you were like Jody was driving your car around while you was at work and dealing with other women, and you buying stuff for his kids, right? You throwing birthday parties for his kids, and then you can't even go. Like maybe some people really are living or have experienced things like that, and it's making them hardened. Or maybe every girl just really want to be a city girl inside. And I mean, if that's how you live, in sis, do you?
Right.
Keep
Do
your,
you?
keep your chin up as those disappointments pile through, though.
At some point, you limiting your dating pool.
Well,
I
that's why I said
listen.
keep your chin up as the disappointment. Hello.
I
Don't
am
be
telling
sad
you,
if
you're
that's the
gonna be
case.
by yourself. At some point, you're gonna be all alone. Me, myself, and I. Did Beyonce say? I mean, like, hey, listen, you got to really take in the whole story. But we are ready now for some of our stats. So let's check these stats out. Now, 113 billion, I said B, with an unpaid child support is owed in the United States of America. Wow. Billion. Y'all wasn't ready for that. In 2023, 23% of women added income expectations in online dating profiles, up from 12% in 2019. 23%? Oh, come on, y'all. Listen, that 23%. According to the Pew Research, financial stability is a top 3 relationship requirement among women aged 30 through 50. All right, all right, all right, all right. We're going to get back to this one because I want to ask you something about this, Dr. Sabrina. But we got one more. 47% of single mothers report that dating is a financial burden. Women, single mothers said that. Okay. Now, Dr. Sabrina, we did touch on the age factor.
Mhm.
Notice that said 30 to 50. Do you think that definitely does make a big difference for us? Like you said, yes, at this age, if you were to have to go back to the dating pool, that that you would want this, and this, and this, but your value. So do you think that older women are a little more justified in asking for these types of things?
I do, because we've lived longer. We've had more experience. And in many instances, we may even bring more to the table. But to piggyback off something you said earlier, I think when the young people have all of these grandiose expectations, and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but you do have to ask yourself, who will you end up marrying? You got to think about, in our community already, what percentage of our young Black males are either dead, in jail, or have some other issues going on that takes them out of the dating pool, or that has taken them out of the dating pool. So it's already small anyway. And then when you bring to the table all your this and your that and the other, if the good Lord says the same and allows me to see tomorrow, I will be celebrating 30 years of marriage. When I met my husband, if I had come to the table with all of those things that I saw the young ladies talk about or that was listed, I would not be celebrating 30 years of marriage. So neither one of us were where we are today. We were a young couple. We went back to school together. We grew together. We built together, and that has been a wonderful thing. So it's all about what you're looking for. What are you looking for? Are you looking for a parent to take care of you, to pay all of these things associated with you? Why should you bring that and put that on someone else? The fact that I want to go get my a $200 hairstyle, is that something you need? I may not have always had everything I wanted over a 30-year period, but I can sit here and say I've had everything that I've needed over a 30-year period. So the question becomes, for those of you that are out there, What are you looking for? Are you looking for just your wants? I want this, I want that, I want the other. Are you looking for somebody to build with, somebody to grow with? And at the rate you're going, I don't know if you're going to find that. Not with all of those things. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have standards, as Marlo said. All of us should have certain standards, but it becomes a point when nobody's going to be perfect. You know, I may not be able to pay your rent today. I may be that little boy that's the next, Tyler Perry. I'm working on a dream. Are you going to be the one that's going to stand beside me and build with me? Or are you going to come to the table with all of these things that I can't do today, but 30 years from now? 30 years from now. So don't be short-sighted. That's just from an old woman.
With you, because listen, there were many sharing ramen noodle days. There are many things, and either one of us, if here's one thing that I love about us, and I am going to throw it out there, is that, sometimes we just be talking out the side of our head and be like, I really want this cupcake this weekend. And we don't even really know, like we just said it. And next thing you know, my hubby is popping up with my little cupcake that I had mentioned on Monday that I didn't talk about, vice versa. If it's something like, oh, I really like that new guitar pick. Oh, make note of that. Make sure that I get that for my husband. It is a give and take. So I think that there is a lot of maturity that comes with that. And also how you start out together on the same foundational piece. Like my husband didn't have all of that. I didn't have all of this. We got it and obtained it together. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to get back into this conversation.
Are you a Black business owner looking to expand your reach? Well, has Fly Nubian Money got good news for you? We are building a Black business directory to connect you with customers who need your services. And here is the best part. It is absolutely free. Email us at info@realvirtual.net. Send us your business name. Tell us a little bit about what you do, what services you offer, your website address, and your contact information. That's it. Together, we are going to build and circulate the Black dollar. Get listed today and start connecting with people who are probably already looking for you.
Just because a man is with you doesn't mean he wants to be. Yes. There are so many reasons why a man could choose to be with a woman, and loving her or even liking her don't even have to be reasons. Okay. There's a man I talked about recently. He was with his girlfriend because she let him use her car to drive Uber, and that's how he made his money. Some men will stay with you because they need a place to stay. Some men will stay with you because you look good on paper. Some men will stay with you because you're really pretty, and his homeboys are jealous that he got a girl like you. He don't even like your personality, but you real pretty, and the dudes hate on him because of that. He like that. Like, because you the one with all the money. Like, there's a whole bunch of reasons why a dude would be with you, but it doesn't have to be that he loves you or even likes you. I watched a video recently with this woman who had an entire spreadsheet of the things that her man made her pay for. I'm not talking about, paying for dates. I'm talking about she went to visit his parents and she got a bill the next day because he said that she owed his mother money, $3.23 for an apple and a banana. No, an apple and a piece of toast that she had at their house. He sent her a spreadsheet and she paid it. They went to the airport. She got away with not checking in her bags and not having to pay the $70 fee. And when she turned around and walked away, he said, hold on. She forgot to pay. Sometimes your biggest hater is the man laying next to you in your bed at night. You know what? Y'all ain't ready for this kind of conversation. Never mind.
That's a little much. Marlo, do you really at this point think that people truly want love, or do they just want financial security?
I think some people definitely want financial security. I think that film and television, and you look at like reality TV, it has informed people that it's possible. It's possible to show up with nothing and have everything, or at least that's what the short version of the story is, right? You don't know all the stuff that a person went through in the middle. But I think people definitely are looking for the shortest route to get to the biggest gains. And it's going to be problematic for them long term but everybody's looking for a quick return, or not everybody, because I'm not, and I know that there are other people like me who aren't. But I think it definitely is. We're in a microwave society and people want things now. They know it exists. They know that there are people out there. They just got to put themselves in a position to get chosen. So many girls have careers and I still can't really pinpoint what it is that they do, except they got pregnant by the right rapper, right? So I think that people see it and they want it. It looks easy. It certainly is easier than getting up in the snow and the rain and the hot and going to a job. And it certainly is easier than going to school and using your brain and critically thinking and trying to become the best at whatever it is you do. So yeah, this is a lot of people looking for, that shortcut route to fame, fortune, money, comfort, stability, whatever it is.
Mm. I, that's what I think is wrong with a lot of the world, period. People want power, money, everything, but they're not really willing to work for it in that way. I don't know if it's to me, I do feel like the more we see out here with the internet, is the more that's shaping our future generations. No matter how we raise them at home, they're still going to get something in their head from outside and see that spark as well. And that all that glitters ain't gold is what my mama used to say, and then Prince sang too. So no, not everything that glitters is gold. There's a lot of things that come with that, and there is a price to pay with that. So Joe, I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of a different question. Do you think that men get shamed for expecting physical appearances in the same way that women get shamed for financial needs?
For sure. Yes, there's a shame in that, and you know, I heard like the other day that somebody told me like our taste buds change every 7 years or so, and it kind of made me wonder how often our value system changes, and it's really in about that same range, like 7 to 10 years. You know, people reassess what they value all the time, especially after like hardships and traumas and things like that. Men and women who struggle, or they watch their moms or parents be emotionally drained and financially unsupported, or you know what I mean, or they watching TV and they want what they see, and they're going online and being told that this is the prize to win it all. If you have a woman that looks like this, and you can get this woman if you look like this, and you have these things, your values can evolve. But if they and there's nothing wrong with that, but if they come like as demands without any dialogue or a reciprocity, then what you're sabotaging or sacrificing is possible connection. So that's kind of what I want to be wary of. And men, especially black men, they're a lot of them are tired of being told to just provide and shut up. They want to be loved. They want to be able to make demands on what they want in relationships. And I mean, sometimes that stuff is shallow, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes they want to be loved for their whole selves and not their paycheck. So there's a lot of disconnect between men and women in this conversation. And what's happening is value systems are just shifting, and they're trying to date each other while these value systems are shifting. They're not having dialogue, and they're trying to get survival. They're trying to survive and trying to be seen, and trying to provide value to themselves, but they're not actually having dialogue, and they're sacrificing connections to have these things. So that's what I'm observing, that too many people are sacrificing connection.
And that makes me sad, Joe. It makes me very sad because I honestly can say, and y'all can tease me all you want to, I wouldn't trade the whole experience with my husband with any other experience that any people are having, because we have a beautiful experience. Yes, and just like El said, salt and sugar look the same, but sometimes that savory salt and sugar still complements one another, and you have to be willing to take that ride with someone, and the connection. I see words, Joe: connection and communication. I mean, those are very, very important. We have one more video for you, and we're going to check that out and get into final thoughts.
So, ladies, I'm sitting in my car, and I done came up with an idea. I done came up with an idea. You know how you go get your hair done, but before you get your hair done, you have to put down a deposit. Before you get your lashes done, you have to put down a deposit. Before you get your nails done, you have to put down a deposit, right? And if you don't show up, you do not get that deposit back. So I done came up with an idea. We should start charging these men deposit to date us. Like we should start charging them a fee to date us. Like a 30-day trial. You pay like $1,000 to date us. So, and if they don't do right by us within them 30 days, we keep the money. I'm just saying, like, I think we should start charging men to date us. I'm talking about I'm talking about single women. I think we should start charging them. I think we should start charging men to date us. So,
All right, I'm going to get your final thoughts on that. I want to leave on that. Dr. Sabrina, what are your thoughts on that young lady's idea? Good or not?
Laughable. Laughable. And the reason I say that, I'm the mom of 2 Black sons. Okay. And I go back to the comment I made earlier. When we look at that pool and how it is shrinking because of the number of young Black males between the ages of, I'll say 16 to 24, that are dying by gun violence, that are being incarcerated, that have other issues going on. The pool is so small already. So you're going to come to the table with all these demands. You're going to come saying, you got to pay me. It's almost like, and I know I'm going to get some flack for this, but in some instances, that Black male may be the prize. It's way more of us than it is of them. So when he finds a wife and he's found a good thing, he has chosen us out of a whole lot of different options. It's not as many of them. And I think somebody better tell these young girls, maybe I need to go on social media and do the video and tell them, it's not a lot of them out there, you guys. You better wake up. You better wake up. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I am Dr. Sabrina Edmond Williams, educator, author, and investor, opening minds and closing contracts. I am so noted, and I'm so excited and so delighted to be a panelist here on Fly Money, Nubian Money. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited. So I want to go back to where we started this show. Remember, we thought that whole underlying theme was about the child support. The bigger issue there is really estate planning, making sure your plans are in order. If you don't know how to do that, hit me up at I Am So Noted, or check out my book, Learning to Trust, The Black Family's Guide for Building, Protecting, and Transferring Wealth. Go check it out on Amazon. It's over there. It's been good being here with you, Miss Lala.
You work for it, you want to keep it. You want to put it in the right way and turn it over. So make sure that you do follow Dr. Sabrina, because she's got a lot of good things for you. Marlo, listen, I want to kind of twist this to you because you have daughters. So if this was your daughter that you see, especially in this last video, what would you say and what type of advice would you give her?
I would say don't be mad at the information that you get on the back end and in terms of their expectations, because if you're allowed to state your expectations, they are as well. The minute you put money at the forefront of any type of relationship, it becomes transactional. So be sure you're ready to fulfill the transaction or turn the transaction down, because that's what this is. This is a transactional love, transactional relationship, whatever you want to call it. My time is not free when I'm doing business with people at themarlogroup.com, but my man gets the benefit of my time without him getting an invoice at the end of the day. And I think that is the way that relationships are supposed to be. Getting to know each other is a back and forth. It's a little dance. And if you got to pay the price of admission to get into the dance, you probably have high expectations of how entertaining that experience is going to be. So just think about that. I would tell them to just think about it. You get to do what you want as an adult, Everybody does. You get to do what you want because you have free will, but you can't be mad at what's on the other side once you express your free will. If you're looking for me, I already pitched it, themarlowgroup.com. We help you get found in this big old sea of websites and people that are peddling and hawking and selling and doing all the same things that you are doing. How will you be found? You'll be found once you can get the bots to understand who you are, and that's where we come in. We help you with SEO, brand alignment across social media and your website, making sure that your site is searchable and findable, and people don't have to go to your competition because they couldn't find you. Hit me up.
Ain't no abracadabra. There's some work behind that magic. So if you want to be found, you need to make sure that you go and check out Marlo and get yourself seen. All right. Now listen, Joe, I feel like we have a connection. Well, I think a lot of times we talk about communication and respect for humans. So I would love to hear your advice to someone who is of this generation who feels like they have these types of demands before actually thinking about growing with someone. Give us your advice for those who are entering into this dating world.
Yeah. So I typically don't give advice. I give perspective, and I want you to ask yourself a question, a real deep question. What do you believe you're worth, and who taught you that? That's what I want to know. And whatever you say to me in return to that question, we're going to have a conversation based on that. I want you to understand that our values are not fixed. They evolve, like I just said. They evolve with our age, they evolve with our pain, they evolve with our healing, and we mature. And growth isn't just about like changing what you expect from others. It's about taking responsibility for how your past has shaped your expectations, and then doing the work to align whatever your values are now with your actions. That is where peace is in. That's where peace is at. So you have to understand what you're doing to obtain that peace. And whether you're, a parent, you're trying to make peace with missed time, or, you're someone who's navigating love in this world, or, you feel like money offers you some type of protection. I just want you to understand that, you know, that should not be the goal. There's no peace in that, and you sacrifice connection because we all come into this world seeking connection. You sacrificing connection because you think you're going to feel safe. You don't have to do that. So, that's all I'm saying. It's not about, I mean, is this about money, or is it about being seen or valued and safe? What is it to you? Because most of the time, you know, what are we need to understand what we're really fighting for. So you can find me at realuconsulting.com. The go there. All my socials are there. If you're not following me at this point, I don't understand why, because you see me on here every week. And I keep telling you to go here and follow me in these different places. And I'll start pushing out more and more of these type of statements, and these, in this psychoeducation, trying to get us all into a space where we're seeking peace. 'Cause that's really should be the only goal. You can be rich and miserable, and you can be broke and can totally happy. So just seeking peace is what we're looking for.
Seeking peace. I absolutely love that. Listen, you want to make sure that you go and check out Joe because he really does help you with the heart, and that is what we need more of. I really feel it's not always material things. A lot of times you need to get your own self right in your mind. So please make sure that you check out Joe. Now, listen. Here's my thoughts. I don't want to be with someone that I don't feel like that I have grown with. I want to be with someone and am with someone who we have built together. Is it always roses? Nope, it's not always roses. Sometimes those roads get a little rocky, but it's good to know that you are riding those roads, bumpy or not, with someone who thinks like you, loves you, and appreciates you for who you are and what you are building together. I have that in my partner. And that's the advice that I would tell those young ladies who are talking today on the side of their neck. that, baby, you got to be a ride or die with the person and build together to build those millions together. It'll be so much more worth it. And with that being said, I have a beautiful class coming up, first time homeowners class. Or maybe if you've purchased before and you really don't know what's next because the market has changed, you can sign up for my class, which is August 16th. It is a 3-hour class at laurakey.net. We are going to talk to a lender. We're also going to talk about your credit, and we're actually going to walk through every part of buying a home so that you will know what to expect and it won't be so stressful. So sign up today at laurakey.net. Notice I left out something big, producer, wink, wink. We appreciate you all being here today. We thank you so much, because without you, we wouldn't have a show. We have Black Lexicon, Tamisha, Deborah. We have C. White, Universe, Jared, Dennis Sproggins. We have so many people that come in every day. Black Panther, Veronica. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Listen, whether we're talking about court-ordered back pay or relationship expectations, money always finds its way into these conversations. Now, these stories might feel extreme, but they reflect the real tensions that come with parenting and dating and surviving in today's economy. So the question becomes, what's fair? What's foul? And what are we teaching the next generation about financial responsibility and partnerships? We want to thank you for joining us today on Fly Nubian Money, where we talk about money and mindset and everything in between, a little bit of laughs, a little bit of joy. But be sure that you also text the word Queens, Queens, to 87948 to get notified when we go live. And don't forget, we're now on Spotify. So make sure that you catch all of our replays if you've missed anything. You guys have a blessed day. We will see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be blessed and go be a good human, because you never know when a smile is going to save somebody's life. Peace out. Bye.